Hello, welcome to Football United TV. I'm your host Matt King, and I'm here with Ben. How you doing, sir? And your little man? I've just forgotten his name.
Harley.
Harley, that's right. How you doing? How you doing, guys?
Not bad, not bad. Yourself?
Yes, not too bad. Like I say, apart from this weather, like I don't know what's going on. Like sunny, rainy, can't go out, got to stay in. Right, so let's talk Man United. Obviously, both of you love Man United. Probably not loving this season so far, though. What's your thoughts overall on the season?
Personally, I think we've ended up in a better position than I thought we was at the start of the season. Because if you think at the start we were doing terrible, none of the players were showing up. You know, like, we don't have many superstars in our team as it is, but the ones that we do have, they weren't turning up. They weren't performing for Mourinho and stuff. So I wasn't very optimistic about this season at all. And I thought we was probably going to struggle to get seventh, you know. So when the whole thing happened with Mourinho getting booted out and Solskjaer come in and gave us a bit of positivity, like, that's when I thought, okay, this is the old United. Yes, the old United. So it could be better.
Good signing up would be Ericsson from Tottenham.
Do you know what? That's a very good shout, Harley, mate. I've been saying that as well. I'd love to see Ericsson come in, especially for 60 million as well, which is very cheap price, I thought, for the way he's been for Tottenham over the last years. So yeah, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you guys happy about that then, at least this season?
Yeah. You know, there's this whole heightened skepticalness. Is that even a word? But
yeah, I'll take that. It should be if it ain't.
Yeah, there's this very heightened focus on him being the manager and losing loads of games as soon as it becomes full term. Everyone was like, yeah, get him in when we was winning. And now they're blaming him for us losing. And it's like, well, where do you draw the line? Because he was winning for us and now he's losing. We've got to put some of the blame or most of the blame on our players, to be fair.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of weird how they don't really come out into the press and sort of take responsibility. Like, it's sort of throw the manager under the bus every time, and that just isn't acceptable at Man United. Everybody takes the blame. Do you agree? Like...
I totally agree with that. I think captain roles, you got De Gea, you got Pogba,
Rashford.
I mean, not so much Rashford, but like Lukaku and stuff, strong players that should be leading the team that are just sitting back and just watching things happen. I mean, I watched a game, Man United play, I can't remember, it might have been against Wolves, and Pogba's playing, and he's lost the ball, and then he just trots back. Like, there's no chasing back, you know, whereas back in the day, like, as you'd know, when we were younger, and we had Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Giggs, David Beckham, everyone would run back. You'd have Van Nistelrooy or, sorry, I don't put my arm across you there, but you'd have Van Nistelrooy up the front and that's it. Everyone else is getting back, and we don't have that hunger anymore.
Like Mata, I think he's doing quite well considering he's not playing much.
Yeah, you like Mata. I know there's a lot of fans that like Juan Mata. Obviously, he's a very nice guy, isn't he? And
yeah, well, especially with his that thing that he's doing with the charity for kids. He's got his charity where he puts 1% of his wages into this fund to fund youth academy for kids to play sports, like any kind of sport, not just football. And he's got a load of other footballers from different teams in the Premier League to also do exactly the same thing. And it's like, well, if you think they're earning, let's say, someone like Matt would be on what, maybe 80k a week.
Yeah.
1% of that a month. So we're looking, what, 320k a month? 1% of that, that's 3,200, you know, like.
It's too much, I think.
Every month. I think that's brilliant. I think it's brilliant.
You didn't mean about his wages, did you?
No, I meant the 1% that comes out
of his wages. Yeah, goes into it. Yeah. I think the problem that with the whole structure at the club, talking about wages and stuff, is the fact that, you know, people are on a high amount. You know, you've got obviously Pogba and De Gea and Sanchez, obviously the main one.
Yeah.
If he's not playing enough, and you got De Gea going, but I want to get the same as him. Like, I'm playing better than him, and he's like the biggest. He's the highest paid Premier League player, you know, and it's kind of like, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, when you're paying someone that much money to warm your bench, it's not worth it.
You think they would play better?
You'd either invest as much training into that person to get them settled into that position, or play them in the position that they're actually supposed to be playing in. Because he's been playing out on the wing.
Yeah.
Where, like, Sanchez for Arsenal played best in the same role as what Pogba plays best in, which is that free roam attacking midfield type sort of play, you know. But he's been playing left wing, which is, you know, still he does okay, but it's, if you're going to buy a player of that caliber from a club of that caliber, let's say not this season because Arsenal are doing terrible, but we won't go there. You need to be able to either play them in their position and they need to perform. Like, it doesn't matter about this settling in period of one season to find their feet. They're professionals and they're getting paid a lot of money to play. They get to play the sport, and when they're on the bench because they're not performing well enough in training, it says it's a whole new thing, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
I go to work. If I don't perform at my job, I get performance reviews.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they'll say, look, you're going to be out the door if you don't you don't pick it up. It was a really crazy stat about Paul Pogba. He's at the top of the table of players in the Premier League that has walked the most on the field this season.
That does not surprise me.
That's not a stat that I feel that Man United should be happy with.
No.
Do you agree with that, Harley? I think he should be running around a little bit more if he's like at the top of the table of most walked. It's not good.
Yeah. When you get paid that, again, like I said to you, he was trotting back. He doesn't chase the ball down. And when he does, he gets frustrated. If he loses the ball, he gets frustrated straight away. Like, he's too hot-headed. And he'll either make a foul or walk back to the defence line. And it's like, we need to get rid of him. I mean, I love Paul Pogba. He's my favourite player for Man United. But he's just not performing enough for the team. So we need to get rid of him and get players in like Eriksen, or even players from like maybe the Championship that are actually hungry to play in a Premier League.
Yeah.
Leave them in there that are good enough to play in the Premier League. We're just not getting noticed enough for the teams that they're playing for. So,
and Salah, that was really good start. If we managed to get him,
if we got Salah, that'd be amazing. But we'd never get Salah.
You can say the same about Van Dijk, couldn't you? Apparently, we asked about him, but they said it was too late. He's just signed for Liverpool. Like, we're just too late.
But then, would he have done as good for United as he has for Liverpool? Because they play completely different football to us.
It's tough.
For any other team.
I agree with that. I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough one with knowing whether he would have been good at Man United, but there are definitely players out there now that we could pick up on that could do that similar role. Koulibaly from Napoli, I definitely think he's someone we should be looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you make of centre back? Like, what? You wouldn't want to keep Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, do you?
No, I mean,
Phil Jones, yeah.
I don't know. I think he's clumsy. I think he's a bit clumsy.
Yeah, but
I like Smalling, but I fear that Smalling isn't a leader. And when you're in that left centre back position, you need to, well, either side really, to be fair, you need to have someone that's right, this is what you're doing. But you don't have that in Jones because he doesn't play enough. Lindelof has made a massive improvement. I'd like to see him play a more defensive midfield role though, because I still think that he's not strong enough to play centre back. I think Smalling is, but he needs that Vidic next to him. He needs a Vidic or a Ferdinand, you know?
Yeah, because he's almost playing like the main man, isn't he? And he's not the main man of a defence team.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes he makes bad decisions, and with someone that has experience that would be able to feed him the information that he needs and the experience that he needs to grab from the game. I think a Maguire, maybe we should have pushed that a bit harder.
Yeah.
Like Maguire, they play in the England team together. You know, Smalling might actually get into the England team if they have that duo. Like, but then you've got Stones killing it. I don't know. it's a tough one. I'd like to see an English boy in defence, though, like proper rugged, or even Eastern European. I find that the Eastern Europeans centre backs, they're fierce. You want someone that's going to chop you down, or well, not chop your own players down, but you want someone that's going to chop you down, so that when the strikers run at them, they're scared. Now, am I going to get taken? This guy does not care about red cards, and that's what we had with Vidic, Yapstam, Ferdinand, Roy Keane, even in midfield. Like, people would rather go down the wings than go through Roy Keane in the centre.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the same with Patrick Vieira as well. You know, that sort of decade of them, nobody wanted to go down the middle against them two teams because of their, I think, the passion as well. They had like the passion for the club. They you don't have that at Man United, do we?
We don't. Sorry.
And also, at the moment, Man U are just letting De Gea do all the work, trying to save all the goals. So they're basically, the other teams are getting the momentum to try and score more goals against De Gea. He's the only one performing.
Yeah. Do you think the reason why De Gea's messed up recently is because he's had so much pressure on his goal?
Yeah.
I think I was having this discussion at work. I think that for 6 years running, De Gea has been Player of the Year at United. And there's a reason for that, is that so much has been put on his shoulders. Like, we rely on De Gea for results. And that terrible tactic to have, you know. Yeah, we want to have the best goalie. You know, we've had Schmeichel, Barthez, like, brilliant goalies, but the people that were in front of them were also brilliant as well. So when they had to make a save, it wasn't like the guy was making 16 saves in one game. You know, he'll make one. But whereas De Gea, day in, day out, or every game that he plays, he's having to do a lot of work, and it's not good. But going back to your previous question about like the passion gone in football for Manchester United, I think it's a lot to say in most of the teams now, especially in the Premier League. Like, if you
player power.
If you go to the Championship, they've got something to work to. They're going to work into the Premier League. And they have that hunger, they have the passion, and you see them play with their team. But when you're in the Premier League, like, especially if you're in like the top 6, 7 clubs, they're getting paid so much money that all they have to do is step on the pitch and they're getting paid, you know? It's like they don't even need to bother. Like, they do training to stay in the team, sure, and whatnot, get into the team. But when they actually come to perform on the pitch, they're already getting paid that much money that they don't really care.
Yeah, of course. I completely agree. I feel there's a lot more of a player power. You look at every league as well. That's happening. Do you know what I mean? Mm. And agents as well. I see agents are working and pulling strings on gossip of transfer rumors and stuff. You know, like, I think what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, I think it was yesterday in a press conference about he's getting loads of offers from agents for loads of players that want to come and play. Which, you put it in one way, that sounds really good. But, or is it the agents just like playing around and trying to get this gossip going around and interest? And then you'll have like Real Madrid and Man United fighting over the player, and it's the agent going, woohoo.
Yeah, I think
cash crop.
I think that it's quite a clever tactic, though, if you think, because that's also going to raise the value of that player. So if it's a young player, like a hot prospect, and you put a rumour out saying that Man United are interested, then you're going to get scouts from Barcelona, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. All those clubs are all going to be like, okay, so then there's more option for that player if these people are watching. So if he does get lucky and they want to sign him, that's when the club can actually put the value up, because so many people want to go in for it.
Yeah, agree.
So it's quite clever, but I think there's too much money involved in football now, and it's kind of taken a lot of the zap out of it. Like, I remember sitting down the pub watching the Champions League final when Solskjaer was actually playing and scored the winning goal, you know. And that was passion. You could see there's passion. I enjoyed it. You didn't really see the stigma of the money symbol like in the background. But nowadays it is literally like, we went out to see United play Crystal Palace last season, 2 seasons ago, and that was like £65 just for one ticket. And it's like, well, you could feed a family for a week on 65 quid. And
I could go to Amsterdam for that.
This is it. So it's mad how much is
It is, yeah. It needs to be sorted out, doesn't it? Capped at least, or you know what I mean? There has to be a certain price,
yeah.
fixed price. So, go on, say that again.
Another good signing, I think, would be a really good possibility is Kyle Walker from Manchester City.
Ooh, yeah. What makes you say that?
Because he's got pace and he's got like good dribbling and he's got a really good like defense arms. He's got strong arms, so he can.
Yeah, an upper build. Yeah.
Physical strength is what you're going for.
So, do you think he's better with England or better with Man City? What you see?
Better with Man City because he's around more of his teammates.
Yeah.
Because Man City aren't just all English players; they're all from over the world.
Yeah, so he picks up a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally think Kyle Walker played better for Tottenham.
Well, yeah, that's how he got picked up, isn't it? You know, he must have been really at his prime when he got picked out. It's like Mahrez, though, isn't it? Mahrez goes from Leicester to City, and apparently news is that they're looking to offload him.
I'd take Mahrez at United. That'd be nice.
What I'm saying, but the thing is, they want to offload him to anyone, but they don't want to offload him to us. Apparently, they said that would never sell to Man United. That's that rivalry right there. Go on, mate. Sorry, go on.
It's a shame though, because I would like to take a couple of Cities players.
Yeah, quite a few actually. Kevin De Bruyne, I'd definitely take him.
Definitely.
Imagine him and Eriksen.
Yeah. That'd be mental.
No, they're not both. Don't worry.
It'd be quite hard to fit them all in, but I'd definitely put them all in the midfield.
Yeah, if you got is it a 4-1-2-1? 4-1-2-1-2-1 or something where there's like
is that a diamond?
A CDM and centre mid.
Yeah.
Pogba, someone else, and then Eriksen and De Bruyne all across, and then there's one attacker and two left wings and three defenders and a goalkeeper. That's a really good
formation
because you can fit more centre mids. And
but I think with that though, is you don't want to have too many defensive midfielders because then we've got no strength going forward.
We've had that recently as well, haven't we? We've had too many. Fellaini, Matic.
What's your opinion on Matic? I'll ask you a question.
Go for it. Shoot.
What is your opinion on Matic?
He's a Mourinho boy. Personally, in my eyes, he would only really play for him. I mean, yeah, he played all right the first few games for Ole. You kind of thought, what's going on here? But you could also see that he wasn't used to playing like that. You know, like he was sort of rushing it and it was sort of just coming off. And he was like, oh, wow, actually, I pushed it forward and it actually made it there. But, because he was just a side sweeper player. You know what I mean? Always wanted to push it back or push it to the side. And I think you both should agree. Man United are an attacking team. What do you make of Matic then?
I think for Chelsea, he was good. And it was the sort of player that I wanted to have in United. But after seeing him perform in United,
he's just gone downhill.
I don't think he is the type of player that we need in our team. Like, he holds on to the ball too long. Like, make the pass. Like, you see people running down the wings. He's got plenty of opportunity. But he'll do a turn. And yes, sure, he pulls it off sometimes. But don't risk it because there's been a couple of times where he's lost it from doing a stupid turn where he could have just passed it off. Yeah. And then they go and score from it. and I think that is one of our biggest downfalls this season and the last 4 seasons before is our midfield. Our midfield is suffering. We need to have that strength back.
I think that because quite a while ago I saw a fact it was like £2 billion had been like spent on players like Pogba and all that, but I think that's way too expensive because we have many players, but they're not playing. So they're like, so we've got like 30 players not playing on reserve, and then there's people on the bench, but that you don't because I think there's too many people on reserve and like
not coming. Do you mean like a lot? Man United have been quite strong with their youth team and coming up and giving them an opportunity. If you look at Lingard, Rashford, what's his name? McTominay.
Yeah, McTominay.
Even Forza Menza, I think he's been put on loan now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, all those types of players that have come through the youth academy have got a lot of potential. They're really, really good. But
not most of them.
I think
it's like Tuanzebe, isn't it, from Aston Villa? Obviously, he's done very well, and you kind of think maybe he could be someone we throw in every now and then. But
and I think like it's the same with the experiment with the English international team. If United kind of just took the loss and just done their whole team over with young, fresh players that want to play for the club, rather than signing players that were names in their old clubs, thinking that we need a boost of morale, let's sign a named player. You know, it's all very well getting these players from other clubs, rival clubs and stuff like that, but they're not performing. You look, the Matic and Sanchez, both from rival clubs that really shouldn't sell to clubs that are in the top six.
Yeah.
And they're not performing. But then you put McTominay in the centre mid. For the games that he has played, he's had an astounding time.
Yeah.
I personally.
Because I think younger players will enjoy the football,
the experience,
and experience how to become popular and more people trying to buy him. So it's like he can be in different teams, even rise more, and then he will start getting big. Like
I agree.
But I mean, even if you was to just generate a bit of value for the player, play him 10 games in the season, see how they do. And if they do well, they're going to get noticed, and then you can sell them on if they're not good enough for the club. You know, make a bit of money so we can sign a top flight player like Hummels. I mean, maybe not so much now, but a couple of seasons ago.
I'd have said the same thing. Yeah, get him from. I wanted him from Dortmund anyway, like before he went to Munich, but then lost out. Guys, what's your predictions for the game tomorrow? I want to know what you think the result's going to be. Huddersfield versus Man United.
I think at Huddersfield as well.
I think because we're not playing too well, I reckon it'll be like 2-1 to us, maybe, or 1-0, because like it depends what they put on the field.
Yeah, I think it does depend on the players that Solskjaer puts out. Like, it's the end of the season. Is he going to just settle for the position that we're in already and just play it safe, or give the others a chance? Or is he going to try and go for 4? You know, it's going to be a tight one, whatever happens at the end of the season. I personally think that we're going to win 2-0 against Huddersfield. That's because that's my safe number. I always bet 2-0.
2-0, yeah. Make sure we don't concede any goals at least. That's a good result to hear.
Yeah, like, I think maybe give Romero a little go. Like, De Gea, he's obviously got something on his mind for the mess ups that he's done. I mean, it's what they say. I always have this analogy of you've got a pack of 6 apples, and if one of them's bad, you don't buy the whole packet, do you? Because one's out of 6.
It's a good way to put it.
So if you think 6 saves, brilliant, keep us in the game, but then lets one horrific go in, you can't really blame him, but he does need a rest. He's not ever been injured, really, has he? He's played near enough every single game for United, other than like the cup games. So I think give Romero a little go. Last couple of games of the season, De Gea rest and see where he wants to put his future.
And quickly, just for the last minute now, what do you two think what position we're going to get if you had a prediction?
I personally think, I'll let you.
I know what I want, but
this season, next season.
This season, like, where are we gonna finish at the end next weekend?
If Tottenham lose their game, these last 2, then I reckon 4th. But if they win 1,
they've just lost 1.
Well, yeah.
Did they lose?
Didn't they? Yeah, they lost 1-0.
Oh. So if they lose it, and they've lost last week as well. So if they lose, I reckon we'll come 4th. If we win this one 3-0.
Well, I don't think it's really a contest with Tottenham. Really, it's more Chelsea, and Arsenal, isn't it? Like because you got Tottenham. Well, actually, it might be Tottenham now if they're losing. Because if Chelsea win, then they go level with Tottenham, is it?
No.
Oh, they might go above now. I think they're only 2 points off, and they would have been Tottenham would have been 3 points above, then they would have had a game in hand. Because I think they're on, is it 58 or 68? Cool. I haven't actually looked at the Premier League table yet.
Potentially, Tottenham could drop down to like 7th if the results go against them.
I know that if we bag 3 points tomorrow, we're 2 points off Tottenham, and we're above Chelsea, I believe.
Yeah.
Depends on what happens with Chelsea, though, I think.
I reckon we'll get 5th this season. I think we'll bottle it. Last game of the season, we'll lose. Just because that's just sum up our whole season, really. We'll get a result against Huddersfield tomorrow, and then we'll lose the last game of the season and come back.
I hope not. That would be really bad. Do you know what I'm kind of wanting? I'm wanting Man United to get the 4th spot, Tottenham to get 3rd, and Chelsea and Arsenal to fight it out in the Europa League final for that extra space.
Yeah, that would be
Wouldn't
good.
that be amazing? The last game. It's like a playoff final between them two, like to win a cup and to get the Champions League spot.
Is that still a rule? Like I know obviously they'll get Champions League if they win the UEFA, but like how does that fall for? Because like I remember Tottenham were in the Champions League spot, but then Arsenal or someone won the UEFA, so then they got booted out and they couldn't join in the Champions League. Do they make that extra spot now?
I can't remember. It will be the 5 teams though. Yeah, like if someone whoever wins the Europa, no matter what, or the 4 and the 5th Euro, because we did it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Remember, we won it and we got in, didn't we? We were the 5th team in.
Before last, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and all 4 teams got in plus us.
Yeah.
Quite lucky, I think, for that.
We've done the treble that season. Maybe not the.
That's the Liverpool treble. You know,
we got to hold on to what you can when you're not doing too good.
Mate, you do. And at the end of the day, if you look at it as well, all right, we've been rubbish, but how many cups have we won since Alex Ferguson, and how many have Liverpool won since Alex Ferguson?
Well, yeah, this is it. I mean,
We won the FA Cup, the Carling Cup, the UEFA Cup. That's it, isn't it? Still
FA
3.
Cup. FA Cup.
Yeah, you said FA Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think UEFA Cups are good cups to win, you know.
I think it is, yeah.
It's the only one we've won so far since Alex Ferguson's left. But I still think that you're playing against other teams that deserve to be in that spot. You know,
Exactly.
There's above average teams in your leagues and stuff. If you was to set it on base of 20 teams per league, I don't think that's too bad.
We have won the FA Cup after Alex Ferguson left.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Yeah, we have one.
Right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us.
No problem.
No problem.
Thank you.
Appreciated. Want to give anyone a shout out or anything? Shout out your Twitters or anything?
Shout out to my Twitch. It's 1ts_slushy. Make sure you go and follow me.
There you go. Good lad. And you, Ben?
Shout out myself.
You've got loads, haven't you? You've got SoundClouds, Mixclouds. And
Yeah, Gaming Official on YouTube. I'll just leave it at that one. Otherwise, we'll be here all day.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. And I hope you can join us next time whenever you're about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having
Thank
us.
you.
Cool. No worries. See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.